Fine. Well, we've got Marilyn calling from Henderson. I assume that's Henderson, Nevada. Again, our telephone number is 1-888-24-LIBERTY, 1-888-24-LIBERTY, or 464-8295. And if our producer would like to pass Marilyn through, I will talk to her. Of course, Henderson is a very important place because occultists are coming from throughout the world to Henderson, Nevada, because that's where they believe Maitreya is going to mysteriously appear here in the very near future. And if you haven't read the book Extraordinary Times, Extraordinary People by Wayne Peterson, who claims that David Rockefeller recruited him into this, into government service. It's a fascinating book, and Wayne's waiting for Maitreya's return. We'll be right back. Well, this is Dr. Stan back here. We've got Marilyn calling from Henderson, Nevada. And then, of course, if you'd like to call and get Bob's thoughts, give us a call of 1-888-24-LIBERTY, 1-888-24-LIBERTY, or 464-8295. But before we go on, Bob, would you like to get your telephone number out, your website, where people would find out more about your publication?
Well, you can get a free introductory copy by one of three ways. You can go to the site. That address is theinternationalforecaster.com, theinternationalforecaster.com. You can email us, bob@intforecaster.com, bob@intforecaster.com, or you can call toll-free 800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188.
All right, fine. Marilyn, are you there from Henderson?
Yes, I am.
Okay, fine. Just speak right on up. How are things over in Henderson right now? Okay, fine. Do you have a question for our guest?
There are a lot of foreclosures in the Vegas area, as you know.
Right.
And I'd like to know how to advise people. I mean, I think I go along with you that it's not a good time to buy still. But I know people that think, gee, they're going to pick up these great deals on foreclosures. We haven't seen the bottom half. Have we? And I have another question.
All right, fine, Bob. Of course, a question is, what about the people going out now? They're picking up these homes because they're so cheap, and they're going to make a lot of money on them and turn them over and make money when the economy comes back. What do you tell people who are there in Henderson, in Las Vegas, where there are an awful lot of certainly condos that used to be selling for $300,000 or $400,000, now they're $200,000 or $300,000? What do you tell them about it? Is this a good time to be picking things up off the bottom?
Well, first of all, Las Vegas and vicinity was one of the very hot areas of the 30 hot areas, and it's probably gone down as much, if not more, than any other area so far. I think that they will go down even more, probably another 20-25%. They will not, countrywide real estate, residential real estate, will not go up like it has before. After that, we will bump along the bottom, and let's say 3 years from now we've hit bottom. You know, we don't know, but that's, I think, a good guesstimate. We'd have at least an absolute minimum of 5 to 7 years beyond that where prices would bump along the bottom, and it may be as long as 20 years. And so those people who are buying places, if they're paying cash and they can get them rented and they're in decent areas, that's okay. They're in professional investors, and that's what they want to do. That's fine. The chances of making capital gains are very small from my viewpoint. I think they're going to continue to have problems renting for the price that they need. Unemployment is skyrocketing in Las Vegas and vicinity. It's going to continue. I know people who used to make Well, they own 3 homes, make $100,000 a year as a bell captain. And now they're working 2 or 3 days a week. And it's going to get a lot worse. And so the income won't be there. And then you're going to have a lot of people at the lower echelon of the working train, so to speak, who work in those hotels, who are not educated, and many of them are illegal aliens, and they're going to have no place to go. So there's going to be very bad social problems. And so I wouldn't spend one nickel on buying anything in real estate for some time to come. And I think it's going to be a long time before anybody can make money on real estate again. And the money's just not going to be there to invest with. I mean, half the banks are going to be under. You're going to have cash. And who would want to tie cash up in a house to get a crummy 5 or 10%, 15% return? No, it's not worth it.
Okay, anything else, Marilyn?
Well, a couple of things. This just came to mind. It's very concerning that I have heard that the banks are not loaning to our farmers, and that's going to affect our food supply.
Right.
That's very.
Have you heard that, Bob? Is this farmers having?
I couldn't. Make
Oh,
out
basically,
what she said. Could you please repeat
yes,
it?
it's basically she was just saying that she heard that some of the farmers are having trouble getting loans from the banks. Because farmers ordinarily, they have to go to the banks to get the money to buy the seed and fertilizer and and fuel so they can plant their fields. And some banks are certainly a little loath to lend to the farmers. Is there truth to that?
Yes, it's prevalent. Very prevalent, because they want to keep their banking sheets, their statements solvent, as healthy as they can. And they're not going to take chances with loans unless they're really AAA type of loans. Another thing is that, government talks about now inflation being down around 3%. Inflation is not 3%. It's 9 to 10%. And shortly it's going to be much higher. And that means the cost of doing business is going to continue to climb for not only farmers but for everyone. And so I think what the caller has said is true. I think there will be food problems. There will be higher food prices for sure. And I advise you to get freeze-dried and dehydrated foods, things that you normally eat, and bring them in and have enough for as long as you can afford. What's good? 2 years is good. Food lasts a long, long time. And you can always eat it if you don't have any kind of an emergency. You should, especially in your area, have a method of cleaning water that would be through a filter. And also, because of the social problems, you should be able to defend yourself and your family.
Okay, anything else,
The
Marilyn?
real estate market will be even further impacted if we see these population reductions.
Amen to that. And I think we're in for some very, very difficult time, Marilyn. Hope you'll continue listening to us. Anything else you'd like to ask before we let you go?
Well, I would like to say there are a lot of programs out there that people can check into. I'm going to check into some for friends that they promise to reduce your debt and to reduce your mortgage costs to get it into line with where things are, the real value of your home. But I know you have to be very careful. There are companies.
There are a lot of sharks out there in the water right now. Be very, very careful of who you do business with and make absolutely certain that there's no way they can take advantage of you.
Right.
Thanks very much for calling.